Hey there, I'm Mark.
I'm Evan.
And on this week's very, very special episode,
Mark swears.
I swear often, but anyway.
At the very end, I don't think you swear often.
Well,
at the very end, you gotta listen
I swear all the time
to get to Mark swearing. It's right at the end. Don't skip it. There's gold in between.
Evan, you blankety blank.
No, he legit swears.
Okay. That's it? You don't want to actually say what we talk about in this episode?
And
we talk about Evan hanging out with famous people for a week.
That too.
Here we are.
How is it
going, Mr. Evan Carmichael? I can't believe it. I haven't spoken to you on the podcast in like 2 weeks. Last time we spoke, you were about to get, yes, I see you have food. You were about to get onto a plane, hopefully getting through customs.
Right. Wow.
It's been a long time, dude. It's been a long time.
I'm going to tell you, I got home last night. Nina went to pick up the dogs. Timo, come. Oh, Timo, come. Nina went to pick up the dogs. And I'm like, I don't recognize who this is.
Because of the fur or?
No, just the length of time I've been gone and just what's happened.
You're being dramatic, but okay, yes.
No, I'm serious. I'm not being dramatic.
You were supposed to go on a 90-day tour. You were gone for a week and a half. You forgot what your dog looks like?
I'm done. I'm being honest. Did I not say that, Nina?
Yeah,
See, I'm not being dramatic. I said that. It happened.
Last time I was over there, you kept calling the dogs slaves. So I'm not surprised you forgot what they look like.
You're so mean.
Listen, there's inside joke stuff that happens between friends, and then there's something to prove.
So I shouldn't have said that. Oops.
Oh no, whatever. It's fine.
Okay.
But he came back. So much has happened. I can't believe it's only been a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And
You got for 2 weeks.
2 weeks? 2 weeks, Drager.
You left on a Tuesday.
And we're recording this on a Monday.
You came back on a Sunday.
5:30.
You came back on a Sunday. So that's in my book, that's a week and a half. But anyway.
No, actually Tuesday to Monday is officially 2 weeks. That's basically the definition of 2 weeks.
You left on a Tuesday, you came back on a Sunday. So that's, to me, a week and a half.
Oh, that's true. It's Sunday. We came back on a Sunday.
We came back on a Monday, 1 a.m.
That's true. We got back Monday, 1 a.m. That's true.
Fine.
That is true.
I will give it to you. It's been 2 weeks. You've been gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah. I didn't recognize my dogs. I forgot we had pets.
It's nice not to have pets, isn't it?
I
would love to not have pets.
It's wild. It's wild seeing snow after Puerto Rico.
Oh, dude, you miss
lots
so
of
much
change.
Cold.
Yeah, I know people complaining about the minus 20 or degrees. Yeah, we got. Well, there's so much that happened before Ottawa. Anyway, we're back. We're back in the seat. So I guess we missed an episode of this thing, right?
We're doing it now.
This is it. Okay, great.
This is coming out Friday, and it's going to come out tomorrow morning. So
I don't know what that means, but awesome, we're here. So we didn't miss an episode. So what do you want to talk about?
I want to know how Mr. Evan Carmichael
so border security
life gets changed. Because let's be honest here. You've had what we most would call a transformative 2 weeks away. Have you not?
Yes.
Yes. I'm so excited. To walk me through everything.
Okay. So first started with, do you want me to tell a story with the border security or just get right to the...
Well, here's the thing. This is why I'm most excited. Mm-hmm. I've had transformative moments. People listen to Evan Carmichael. They watch your content and have transformative moments.
Okay.
But you are like upper echelon kind of dude, right? Like you've made your mistakes 10 years ago. You learned your lessons 8 years ago. Wow. You just had 2 weeks of being elevated. And so I want to hear what that's like for you.
I got a couple of great angles actually. Okay, I know I'm going to take this. So,
okay.
First off, I went and gave the greatest speech of my life.
First off, eating on a podcast is fantastic for the audio listeners.
All right, I'll stop. This is my only time to eat. I guess I can eat on my Twitch stream after.
You can eat while you play video games, yeah.
All right. So I gave the best speech of my life, which was awesome. I spoke at Brendon Burchard's event in October last year. Mm-hmm. In front of 2,000 people. That we talked about on the podcast. I was biggest anxiety moment of the past 5 years, probably for me. This group that I was going to was his smaller mastermind group. They pay $30,000 to $50,000 to be there. and it's 200 people instead of 2,000 people. As I'm going and I'm seeing people in the hallway, people are stopping me and they're saying, hey, I saw you at Growth, which was the event in October. Can't wait to see you again. Like, oh, great. How's your channel doing? Like, oh, we haven't started yet. Like, what do you mean you haven't started yet? Like, you loved my speech so much in October. It's January. Like, let's go.
Let's go.
And I realized it's just fear, right? It's just fear. These are experts. They're I don't know what range of business they have, but if you're going to drop 30 to 50K a year to be in this group, to go to 3 or 4 meetings a year, yeah, you have to be at a certain level, but they're still afraid. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to lead with my story of what happened at Growth last year. So I was going to lead with, I'm an introvert. I don't talk to the people next to me on the airplane. And awesome story. The guy who was on the airplane with me was in the room.
And said, yes, he did not speak at all.
And it was great. It was so great. It was so great. What was his name? Justin? Yeah. Justin. And I said, I remember everything about Justin. He woke up at 4 a.m. to catch a 6 a.m. flight to be with me until 2 a.m. here. He likes his coffee decaf with 1 cream and 1 sugar. He has a black Toomey bag with leather on top of it. It's like, I remember all the stuff that he tried to talk to me about. I just didn't want to talk to him because I felt anxious and nervous that, I hate small talk. I've told that part of the story a lot where I don't talk to the person next to me in the airplane, but I've never had the person who was next to me in the airplane actually show up in the meeting. So anyway, I sat next to this guy for 5 hours and barely spoke to him. And so that was a funny little start. But then I was telling a story about how I was backstage with Brendon and I was freaking out and at Growth, and I blanked my lines. And the story that I told you guys on the podcast, episode number 93, go back and find it. Have we even done 93?
It's not 93, but anyway.
I don't know what it is.
I think the episode's called something like What Evan Learned from Brendon Burchard or something.
There you go. Go back and find that one. And how much anxiety it gave me and how even right now I'm afraid to be on stage. And Brendon gave me this amazing intro about how I blew his mind with YouTube stuff and all this stuff backstage. And as he's saying that, I'm panicking, saying like, stop talking about me and building me up, because then it makes it even harder for me to go off and puts more pressure. And so I just live with that. I'm a scared introvert, and I still wake up every day and I have anxiety to go off and do these big things. And you might think, well, why do it? Like, why put myself through the pressure and the anxiety and the stress? Like, why not just do something else? Because my purpose demands it. And I led with that because the biggest reason why they weren't taking action was fear. And I just wanted to show I'm afraid all the time and I'm still going off and doing it. That plus I picked up, tried to apply some of the lessons Brendon gave me. He wanted me to practice, so I did that. And it was great. Like standing ovation at the end. Brendon was going to give me 45 minutes to 60, and they gave me an extra 10 or 15 at the end to just bump my time up because people were loving it so much. I go backstage and everybody's freaking out, and Dean Graziosi sends out, was like, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen you do. Something like that. Like, okay, great. So greatest speech that I've ever done, because I led with the insecurities and vulnerability and all that. So people came up and talked to me afterwards and all that stuff. So that was awesome. I then...
Did you internally at least give yourself a celebration, a pat on the back?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Of course. Like, dude, walking off, I've never had such a big standing ovation in my life. It was great. Like the group, that 200 group people. I mean, the group in Growth was great. The October last year was great, but this was something special. So I'm walking off saying, oh my God, this is amazing. I am amazing. Right.
So when you recorded, because you did an IG live with Brendon and you and Dean, and you kind of went around and did that. Behind stage.
That was before the speech.
That was before.
Yeah, that was before the speech.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So here's the thing.
You looked in great spirits before the speech.
Oh my God, dude, this is it. This is what happened. So Dean comes backstage and he's like, I haven't made any content today. And because they're busy, they're doing all their stuff. I ended up trying to host this event. And so nobody's really making a ton of content. So Dean's like, hey, I've made any content, guys, jump in, let's make a video. And he just pulls out his phone and starts recording, and then said, "Hey, I'm here with my crew." I forget what he said. And then he puts the phone on Brendon, and Brendon shares something, and then it's like, "Oh my God, it's coming to me next. It's coming to me next. I know it's coming to me." It's like Dean into Brendon into me. I gotta bring it. And as Brendon's talking, like, "Okay, good, okay, I gotta match the energy. I gotta bring some fire. Like, I am ready. Bring it." This is the story that I'm it's going live on the Dean's channel, and so like, okay, that was my mindset. And then he put the phone on me, and then I was just ready to
pure
psyching myself up
to the point where Dean was even like, "Whoa, that was really good."
I don't remember what I said, but it was great. I was proud of myself for that too. But that was before. I think it might have even been the day before. Like I was speaking the next day or something on stage. My computer keeps like making crazy noises. You have my headset on. Can you hear all those?
Yeah, that's okay. They're not unpleasant.
Jeez. Okay, I'm not gonna close it. What's happening? What is all this stuff? It's comments. Oh, because I'm logged into a different YouTube channel. Anyway, that's fine. Good times. Today's been wild. It's been nonstop.
Anyway. We're okay. So you're there. You give the greatest. You're proud of yourself.
I'm proud of myself. Insanely proud of myself.
Clapping. But
just before I went on stage, I had a goal. Thanks to my friend, my dear pal, Mark Drager.
Me.
Who said something about, I think so. Maybe I shouldn't give him credit. Just about asking for more help, asking for bigger stages, asking to
yes.
It was you, right? What did you message me?
You mean that day what I did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, do you want me to share what I said?
I don't know. Paraphrase it.
I said something like, "This is it. You are on the cusp of a really big wave. You need to take advantage of the moment you're in, the people you're around, and make connections that you'll be able to ride for the next 6 to 12 months and not let this moment fade." Something like that.
Okay, that's pretty good. See that? What a good friend that is, right? So.
And you said I'm already on it.
Yeah, that's true. I am on it. I already had it in my head, maybe, but it's fine. It's a good reinforcement. So Brendon invited me down. The backstory was I'm launching my book. Brendon launched so many books. He wanted to help me launch my book, and so that was a chance to go and talk to him about my book. And I did that on day one at lunch. It was me, Brendon, Dean, like workshopping my book, which was awesome. The next day, which was my speech day, I thought I wanna ask Brendon about speeches. I wanna hit two stages a month. I wanna hit bigger stages. I wanna build my name out more as a speaker. This guy's doing tons of huge events. Probably after Tony, he's the number one guy for a number of events that are of any kind of size. And so he's busy. He's running his own event, and I'm looking from my window. And I found it like an hour before I have to go live. And so I told him what I was trying to do. And he said, "You know what? Why don't you come next week? I'm doing a mastermind. A bunch of people, my friends at my place. Come on by and we can workshop it." I don't even know what I have next week. It doesn't matter. I'm already getting like this
supposed to be in the country, right? Like you were supposed to.
Yeah, I was supposed to be home by then.
Yeah.
But I didn't know I'm going, right? I'm going, and I need to get an iPhone because the only way that Brendon and his homies all communicate is through iPhone. And now it's been made public, so that's fine. But it was like Brendon Burchard, Dean Graziosi, Tom Bilyeu, Trent Shelton, Lewis Howes, Jay Shetty, like lots of pretty cool people. They're all on iPhones. And so I told Nina, I need to be here next week. I don't know if I need to come home. I don't know if I just stay here. And I need an iPhone. My headache, I got a massive headache. I'm still stressed out about going on stage and telling this story that I haven't told before. And Nina, love her, said, "I'll take care of it. Just stay there. I'll fly down tomorrow night and I'll bring you an iPhone." So I'm now an iPhone user.
Yeah.
Just for Brendon Burchard.
Have you figured out how to download stuff yet? Or do you have another phone for that?
Dude, some people's Instagrams on on iPhones, there's a download feature right at the end. I don't have it.
Mm.
When you press share to story,
yeah,
before you press share, there's a little download icon at the top left. I was like, that doesn't happen. You need to have a third app. And then she did it and she showed me, and there it was. Like, what version of Instagram do you have that works? Anyway, that's wild. Throwback to an episode or 4 ago. Anyway, so I'm panicking. I'm proud of myself that I asked, right? Like, I found my moment. I asked. I got invited to the big table, and so I was very proud of myself.
Listen, I'm proud of you too, because I think most of us in that situation would have been very happy to have been invited to begin with, would be very happy to just come and serve. And we come, we do our thing. We're just grateful to be there. We don't want to ask for too much. We don't want to overstep on anyone's toes or overstep, decorum. I don't know what the right word is, but you don't want to put yourself out there. What are you doing? You don't want to put yourself out there just to have someone say, like, listen, buddy, like, it's good. You should just be happy that you're here. Thank you very much. That's what you're afraid of, right?
Yeah.
But you did it.
I did it with respect and curiosity and all that, but we did it.
Do you see how happy I am for you?
It's a big smile. Yeah, I was happy for me. I was happy for me that I asked, right?
I'm happy for you because I don't know if I'd have the courage to do that, but
I don't know if I'd have the courage to do it.
Yeah.
But I did. Anyway, and then I went on stage an hour later. So I'm like, I already have a massive headache. I'm stressed out about how I'm going to handle this thing. I don't even know what I have next week that I had to, Sandra and Nina would have to cancel on people and figure stuff out. And I need to get an iPhone and all that. So that was crazy. I went off on the speech, crushed it, and then enjoyed like the rest of the night, just helping people, talking to people outside, people coming up. My favorite part. Then we go for dinner, and there was one more day, but after that we go for dinner, and I get invited to go for the dinner, and it was just Brendon, his wife, and like super tight homies, like 10 people. And at the end of the dinner, they were doing like toasts and everything to his mom and to his wife. And he's like, there's one more person I got to toast, Evan Carmichael. And he goes on this whole rant about how, not rant, but this whole speech about how I crushed it on stage. And then I stuck around to talk to everybody and how most speakers flying out, and the amount of people who left comments to say that Evan stuck around and answered my question. And so it was just a very special couple days. Nina came, we hung out, we were at the hotel. I started filming ads for my videos. I made Mark's day because he said it was the only extraordinary thing he saw that day.
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. Can I tell you that there are certain days, which we all know as business people or parents or whatever it is, there's just certain days where they start out great, but then just 2 or 3 things happen in a row that are super stressful or super bad. And we had this client thing blowing up and they're stressing out. I'm trying to give them confidence that it'll be okay. And so everyone's turning to me, my team's turning to me, clients turning, everybody's turning to me. And then I'm just like, is this worth it? What do we do? And then I see Evan's ad, and literally I stop. It brings a smile to my face, and I went, yes. I was like, Dad, this is why we do this. This is great. This is so great.
It was pretty good. I was pretty happy with the ad.
It was just also nice seeing my friend and that he's out on a beach and all this stuff. And I had a moment of just gratitude. So yes, your advertisement lifted me up and made me feel good.
Listen, it will for you too. Stay tuned. It's coming. It's a great ad. The audio quality is not the best, but
doesn't matter. The heart is there.
This heart. Although I think the second beach ad that I did, the most recent one, not the second, the third one, was better than the balcony one. No?
The third one you did, we have to tighten up. It doesn't have quite but that's okay.
I think the first one has more punch than the third one?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. It's funny. I recorded the third one.
We're getting super inside now. So there were 3 ads. Evan did an ad, and then he did another ad, and I gave him feedback and said, we can't use that one. And he did it a third time. So
that third one.
Yes.
I'm on the beach. Nina went to go do something. It's like, I'm going to record that. I'm feeling inspired. Actually, Brendon he gave me his high performance notebook or something, and it sparked a question that then led me. What's the first line of that video, Mark? That third ad?
I don't
What's the
remember.
first line?
I don't remember.
When I get to the end of my life, that's what it is. Right? I want to.
I know that's the first line. I know that's the first line of your book script. Is that it?
Well, that's why it's so good. I kept it.
Oh,
when
okay. Yeah.
My life,
yeah. When I get to the end of my life, when I'm taking my last breath,
yeah,
I want to know that what I did matters.
That I lived life with no regrets, and something else. Anyway, I felt inspired, so I'm gonna make this ad. And I walked down the beach, no tan, shirtless.
Super white.
And I pumped fire into the phone. I come back to Nina and said, "Oh my God, I did it! I just recorded a beautiful ad."
And you didn't hit record?
No, I did, and I went back to find like, where the heck is it? I recorded it on time lapse mode. So it's just super fast Evan walking down the beach. I'm like, are you kidding me? There's no way. So now I'm researching how to undo a time lapse and like how to slow down a time lapse.
There's no audio. No audio with time lapse. It's gone.
So I'm like, you know what? That's it. I'm done. Forget this. And then Nina, to her, love and support, she's like, you can do it again.
Yeah, you're Evan Carmichael.
You can do it again. You can do it again. And she didn't say you're Evan Carmichael, but I'm telling myself I'm Evan Carmichael. You can do it again. And so I did it again. I like the second version, but anyway, she said it was too repetitive. And you.
Anyway, back to the story. We got super sidetracked.
Okay.
It's dinner. He's holding his non-alcoholic
nice.
wine or his glass of champagne, toasting you for how amazing you are.
Yeah. No, unexpected, super nice, not necessary, but definitely made me feel appreciated and good. Like it was. I can play there, right? And I can crush there. So then a couple of days with Nina in Puerto Rico, enjoyed a relatively low dosage work week. Like I still did everything I need to, but we still went to the beach every day, at least for a walk. We planned a day to go to the beach. And then 15 minutes in, Nina said she was bored. I'm like, yes.
Let's go back to the hotel.
Let's go work, baby. Although I had my workbook. I was working on the beach anyway. So that was amazing. Then we go to Brendon's resort. He lives on a resort. And then it's 3 days of just data, ideas, mind dump that you just can't process. Right. So David Bach giving me ideas and Russell Brunson giving me ideas and all these people giving me ideas on what to do. The format is basically you go around the circle and a table and you share what's going on and what you need help with, but lots of open breaks, which also caused me massive anxiety because the open breaks are just, he says, yeah, take 5 minutes, which turns into 45 minutes where people just hang out. Right.
And like, because they all know each other. They're all friends. They have small talk and you're the outsider.
Some people know each other. Like half the group was there last year, but the others are just way better at that stuff than I am. Right. This is like my worst nightmare, where I'm sitting there like do. So
you're like the wallflower.
People are talking to each other, and I'm being left out in the cold.
Wow.
So I made a conscious effort to
a limiting self-belief, or is that an actual thing that you think you're not? Do you think you're not good at it, or are you really not good at it?
Both. Probably one, therefore the other. But I definitely don't enjoy it.
You don't enjoy hanging out with people?
No, just hanging out. No. It's got to be purpose driven. Then I love it. But I didn't go home. I didn't go to the hotel once. Like I stayed there, even on the 3-hour breaks and other people left. I stayed there. I found someone to talk to. I pushed through it, made stuff happen.
I saw you helping someone on Lewis Howe's Instagram feed.
Oh, that was his girlfriend.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Helping. I was talking, and then there's a lot of there's one woman I'd never heard of. And after I said my part, she came up to me and wanted to talk about her YouTube channel. And she just sold the business for $1.4 billion. Like, okay, great.
Yes, the cosmetic company.
Yeah, let's get you on YouTube. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I stayed the whole time, made myself proud, did not go home, even though I could have. Even though it's 5-minute walk, and stayed. And so got lots of ideas. By the end of the second night, my head was swimming with too many ideas. Are you texting somebody? What are you doing there?
I'm playing with some screws, but I'm actually just thinking how happy I am to hear.
Nice.
You bump up against all of these things that all of us bump up against all the time, and you seem to have figured out.
Oh yeah, no. Those things I bump up against all the time. I realize,
but we don't see it. We don't see it, right?
Well, this is the thing. Like I updated my Instagram bio and Twitter bio. It says like introvert entrepreneur. I'm afraid of, but that I can lean in on. There's a lot of things that I do that people can't relate to. We talked about it in the car a little bit before. Yeah. But this is something that I need to lean in more on because I actually feel it.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there feeling like
every person in that elite group, that exclusive group, feels that or felt that too. It's universal, right?
Maybe, but a good chunk. Some people love networking and love talking to people and love like going up and saying, "Hey, I'm whatever." Boom, boom, boom. Anyway, by the end of the second day, my head's swimming. I got notes. I don't know how to execute. I haven't figured out the plan, which is now starting to drive me nuts because I still haven't done anything. Brendon and Dean already changed my whole model 4 days ago at the other event. And now I'm here getting new ideas and it's just feels overwhelming. So I told Nina when I got home, I need to just take my notebook and sit with it and transfer it into Evernote in a way that kind of makes sense. Because otherwise I'm going to show up the last day and be just a mess and not be able to give anything. So anyway, that worked. Did that. Got my plan. Most of the things don't make sense for me to do yet, but building it up. They wanted me to do a free plus shipping model. I can't do it with my book, but they want me to buy the book at a discount, sell it at a huge discount from market, build up a list. And the big thing is they want me to do a membership where for $49 a month, I'm in the Facebook group, but we do private live training for 90 minutes every 2 weeks, plus access. And that's the big shift that I need to wrap my head around, get ideas around, talk to Mark around, start implementing and executing in time for the book launch. But the thing, I didn't tell Mark quite this story yet, so this is good that he's on the call.
Wow, thank you for having me.
Yeah. There's a guy who works with Brendon named Mel Abraham, and he's also a thought leader. He also has his own business and helping people more on the financial side, understanding finances and investing and not making stupid mistakes as you grow as an entrepreneur. But Mel is very heavily involved in Brendon's business. So Mel sometimes speaks on the stage. Mel is helping him run the events. He's the voice man on the...
Brendon's or Russell's business?
Brendon's.
So Mel works with Brendon.
Kind of.
Okay.
I wasn't sure what happened, right? So like Mel sat in on the mastermind. Mel was sharing his ideas and his course and his work. And he has a book that sold 16,000 and he's doing coaching and he lives next to Ed Milet in Laguna Beach, on like the crazy hills, right? So like he's had a ton of success as an entrepreneur and continues to, but he's very tied to Brendon in terms of helping him. Like they've done almost all of Brendon's live events. Mel's been a part of. They've done 50 something events together. Mel's helping make sure the room is organized. Mel's helping be on the microphone, hyping people up at the beginning. Like he's like Tony's something the third. What's that guy's name? Yes, but not always on stage.
Okay.
And more like operations. Like everything that happens in the room, Mel's in charge of. Not just a speaker, but he runs the show inside. Like if somebody asks a question, Mel's gonna be on one side with a microphone. If somebody's going to charge a stage, which doesn't happen, but Mel's like right there. He takes the most important security spot because he used to be security way back in the day.
Okay.
So I asked him, I was thinking about it, like, how does this happen? Like, how are they working together? He has his own thing, but he's also helping him. I didn't get it. So I asked him on the last day, like, this is going to be a weird question, but I want to pick your brain on something. There's a lot of these like terrifying moments of asking questions.
Okay, hold on. I love where you're going with this because
Okay.
it has to do with my favorite topic, which is me.
Okay.
But was there ever a time where you asked a question after all of this giving you did and all of this stuff that you've done, where he gave you this little look of annoyance, or you're going too far, or you're asking too much?
I asked them for their email sequences, and they basically said no.
Yeah.
Both, well, a couple people. Well, I won't get into names, publicly, I guess, on this. But I asked. There's a ton of really smart email marketers and course launchers and all that in the group, and nobody wanted to give up their emails. Even though we all copy each other with our email sequences and stuff, but if you want it, I guess it's more like you got to do the work of at least signing up to get them. They don't want to just give it to you.
Right.
So nobody said like no, but so that I was invited to a small roundtable with Brendon's $50,000 members, and when it came to my turn, I said I already got what I needed from the book stuff. I'd love to share some other ideas that came from YouTube that people were asking me. And he said, okay, at the end, if we have time. We didn't have time. So I got a little shut down on my sharing for more advice. What else did I ask? I think the email at that event is probably the email. I asked for help with speaking. Like I wanted to speak on bigger stages and more stages, and nobody had a direct like, hey, I'll hook you up here, which I was hoping for a little bit. Like, yeah, I've got this event here. How about you come and speak there? It's more like just advice. Like, oh, okay.
But something did happen. Oh, I don't know. Today you texted me that something lined up and happened. For
Yeah.
you.
So Russell Brunson, it's public knowledge. It's on the website.
Oh, is it already? Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, he put me as confirmed. Messaged me. He's doing his next launch and he's doing a big event around it.
Yeah.
Dean speaking there, a bunch of guys speaking there. So I'm going to speak there. But anyway. So a couple of times I figured out where the boundaries are.
Yep.
And listen, if somebody asked me for my whole seat, I would send it to them if they were, somewhat close. But I get it. And it's not just one person. It's kind of how it's done. Nobody wants to share their exact thing. So, yeah, I asked 3 different people and got shut down 3 different times.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
but like, not the end of the world. Anyway, so I was asking Mel, like, how does it work? Like, how do you and Brendon do this thing together, right? Because it's obviously Brendon's business, but you're very involved. But then he's also inviting you to all of his stuff, and you get to sit in on all of the. Because none of his staff sit in on any of these private things, but Mel is always there too. Mm-hmm. And he said that they've always just supported each other in their businesses. That he helped Brendon with a lot of financial stuff that Brendon didn't have knowledge of, and also just security and planning the events as the events grew over time, because that was part of what Mel did way back. Mm-hmm. And Brendon's helped him with business and personal development and his course and his book and all that stuff. And what I loved about it, what made me think about Mark was I love he wants to do it with his friends. Like Brendon wants to, the thing that I love, I want to model the most off of Brendon is how he brings his friends up and wants them to win. And even though he might be able to do it better by hiring somebody, like he wants his companies he likes bringing people together and seeing them do well, all of us together. And so I've had this idea in my head, but it's awesome to see it actually being executed. And so we had a good little chat around that. I won't go into like super specific details, but yeah, that made me like, let's go, Mark. Come on, Drager. We got to build this thing up.
Let's go.
I'm going to build my business. Mark's going to build his business. We're going to help each other do it too.
Yes.
It is time. Let's go.
Yes. So I did appreciate when you texted me, you said, hey, I was talking to Brendon about you this morning. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Hey, all these people. And then the other night when you're like, hey, you went over to Jay Shetty and Lewis House and took a photo, and then texted me and said, hey, I took this photo for you, Mark. I'm Well, hey, these are all people that I look up to and watch. Cool.
At dinner on the last night, Mark was talking about Jay and Lewis and their marketing. I said, okay, let's go take a picture. Actually, what I didn't tell you was the first one I sent you, after that picture, Lewis is like, oh, give me the phone. Cause I had to wrap my arm around Lewis like this to take the picture.
He's a big guy.
Yeah. And then he's like, give me the phone. And then he took the phone and he took a better one of the three of us. But I like the less better one where I'm kind of like popping out Lewis's neck better.
Yeah.
That's what I sent you.
Well, I was very proud of you. I was watching along your progress and sharing with people on my team and Jack Lead and everyone and going, hey, look who he's with. Look what he's doing. This is great. And then somewhere around halfway through your time, I started getting really scared for you. But then,
I did a lot of asking. Two more came to mind about the book. So
were you asked and got rejected?
No. So I have a copy of my book. I don't have it. So we took this, we just have this, right?
Yeah.
The what's the first round called? The preview copies? No, what are they called? Oh, it's going to bother me.
Print press.
Doesn't matter anyway. Like the first copies are coming soon, but I didn't have it in time to go. So we printed off fake covers, wrapped it around your one word, and then showed up. And as I was taking pictures of people, in my head is like, I want to get Brendon with the book.
Brendon reading. Right.
Oh, that's later. So I want to have Brendon with the book. I want to have Dean with the book. I want to have but I know them well enough that they would do it and wouldn't be a problem.
Right.
And I had I knew Lewis would do it. I thought Tom would do it. People who I've connected with, but Jay Shetty, I didn't know super well. Russell Brunson, I didn't know super well. And then all these other people I didn't know at all.
Right.
And so some people I flat out asked, like, hey, Brendon, you want to take a picture of the book, help me with the marketing? Yeah, sure, no problem. Others, I went up and said, hey, do you want to take a picture? And we say, book or no book? And everybody said book, but I gave them the option to back out if it was too awkward or weird. And I tried to make sure I was giving value first before just showing up. But I don't want to be the guy who's just there hawking his book. But everybody said yes with the book. So it got all these awesome pictures of people with the book. So that was a little nerve-wracking doing that ask. And then on the last day, one of the things Brendon told me on the event day was get people reading the book. So one of the things that helped market his book was he had Larry King read a chapter of the book, and not a chapter, like a couple lines from the book. Mm-hmm. I said, that's a great idea. And I asked him right away, will you read one of them for my book?
And he's just like,
and he's like, yes, of course. Like, okay, great. And so it was the last day. I hadn't asked him yet. He's busy running this whole mastermind with no staff. And so in the morning, I finally catch him and say, hey, would you mind reading the book? And he said, find me a paragraph that's going to kind of be on brand, and we'll film it at 5:00. So it's built to I have your one word. So I bring my laptop and I'm scrolling through to figure out, what's the one that I want him to read? And then I write it in your one word. I take a blank page. I take a blank page in your one word, like, it doesn't matter. Some blank page now I can't, of course I can't find a blank page, but like, imagine this blank page on one side, and I hand write it, the quote, because he has to be reading, it has to look like he's actually reading the book, not just a printout or something, right?
Why are you giving away all these secrets?
And
for the podcast listeners.
No, but why not? It's actually in the book, right? It's a real quote from the book. I don't have my book yet.
Yeah.
And then I'm stressed out, like, it just has to be like the neatest handwriting of all time, because if you can't read
your handwriting is horrendous.
It's brutal. My handwriting is
so
brutal.
Bad. When you did that thing where you're like, I've got Brendon's book and I'm writing your thing, you couldn't even read your own writing in your IG post.
Brutal. My handwriting sucks. Anyway, and then I was pretty proud of what I wrote, except the some kind of looked like same, so it said some people. Actually, he read the quote that you're probably going to hate. It was like, humans are built to serve. If you're not happy, it's because you're not serving. Some people are built to serve the world, and others are built to serve the 25 closest people to you. But if you're not happy, it's because you're not serving. Something like that. Mark doesn't like that. Anyway, that's what he read. But the sum...
I never said I don't like it, but anyway.
The sum kind of looked like same. And I'm stressing out, like, please don't read it the same. Please don't read it the same. So I find them at the end, And I show him the paragraph. He's like, hey, does this feel like it's on brand? And he said, yeah, I love it. Let's go. And so we went outside and I just took my phone and I filmed him. And then he gave a really nice endorsement afterwards about this being the field guide to help you find your purpose or something.
Yes.
I was just like, oh my God, don't shake the camera because you're so excited. So I was very proud. It was transformative, not in just in terms of the advice. So to get the kind of behind the scenes of what my model should be for both the book and the membership program, but also the contacts, the connection, the love, how much I could help everybody as well with what they're doing.
You know what? There's a big lesson here for us introverted entrepreneurs. You know, I've noticed this. I learned this lesson in the fall. I went out for dinner with someone, and the entire dinner they kind of spoke about themselves, what they're doing and what they've been doing and what they're thinking about doing, and questions about, you know, this and about that. And throughout they're like, I can't wait to find out what you are up to. And then they talked for like an hour and a half or 2 hours, and I listened and I asked questions and we had conversation, but it never came around to like my turn to share or to talk. You know, he's like, oh, we ran out of time and we got to get going. It was so great. This was an amazing conversation. Of course it was. I sat here and listened the entire time. And so I'm like, wow, like, you know, it makes me uncomfortable to have to jump in and start sharing and start asking and start talking and actually carve out, no, this is my time. This is my 20 minutes now kind of thing. Like it just, I sit there and wait for them to kind of politely be like, and now it's your turn. And then even when people do, it still makes me uncomfortable because I'm not quite sure, you know, if I'm doing a good job or all of these stuff. And we all of us introverted people fear that, do that. And I kind of vowed that night, I was just like, next time I'm going to be, this person is extroverted. They expect me to just jump in and talk about myself because they do it. They're not going to get mad at me for doing it. So I got to try it. I haven't had an opportunity yet, but I'm proud of you for doing it.
So even when I got my phone, I'm asking people for their number.
Oh, Evan has now all these new little girlfriends and boyfriends. It's amazing.
Yeah. And then, so, you know, I'm asking Brendon, I'm asking Dean, and then I went up to Tom. I haven't talked to Tom in a while because he only texts and I can't text.
But now you can iMessage.
Now I can iMessage. I still don't know what my number is, but I can iMessage.
You don't need a number for iMessenger. You can do it through your email.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. We're doing it. I don't know how it's all working, but it's happening. So like, what if Tom says no? Or what if they give me some other number? Or like, you know.
Or what if they're famous enough that they're the type of person who changes phone numbers every 3 or 6 months, which a lot of famous people do.
Could be.
Yeah. You might not make the cut. There might be a time where, like, as really famous people, they change their number and then a select list gets the new number updated.
So let me tell you, this is great. So at the end, Brendon put everybody on a group text and sent us all like, hey, here's everybody's contacts so you can stay in touch.
Yep.
And he said he was going to do that at the end. I didn't, you know, whether he was actually going to do it or remember or whatever, but he did. But I'm proud of myself for still going up and asking anyway, because I can't leave without having at least asked and having the contact. So now if I even need to message Tom or any of these guys, like this is the easier way. So not taking the easy way out, not just hoping that somebody else solves the problem for me, but going in and asking. There was a lot of like heart bumping moments on all of this.
So this sounds like such an amazing, extraordinary thing. And you did a lot of giving and a lot of taking, which is great. Giving and receiving, taking and all that stuff. The only thing I'm thinking is like, is it the type of thing where you should be like sending them like a thank you afterwards? Like, it was this transformative for you?
Everybody has been. I messaged Brendon personally.
Yeah.
I didn't do like the big group one. I said, this is, first off, I'm learning iMessage. You have to say who you are because it just shows your number. Somebody sent me a video. It's like, hey, we're watching your stuff in our office now. Thank you so much for that love. Like,
who this?
No idea who this is.
Yes, who this? Yeah, unless if it ties through. Sometimes if it ties through to your mail, it'll say maybe. And
or if they put their name in it, maybe. But anyway, they took a video of their office. I'm like, I still have no idea who this is. So That's awkward. But everybody's putting in there like, this is, and they put their name. So I did that. And then I messaged Brendon a thankful, message. I'll add everybody in on Friday and then keep track and do follow-ups, but in terms of how I can help them, like ideas that I can help them with, just to bring value.
So what's next? That's the question, right?
For this, with these guys?
Yeah, like you've made this great connection. You've done these things. You've learned a lot, right? We're blowing up the EC brand. We're blowing up Fanta to be able to handle the EC brand and all of that stuff. What's next?
Well, what's next is I realize that we need to get way better at marketing. I realize I can definitely hang with these guys, even though like when I'm in the zone on what I'm awesome at, it's easy. So I'm just as great at what I do, but the marketing piece, the positioning piece, is definitely lacking to play at that level. So definitely got to improve that. Figuring out the book launch, the membership launch, all that stuff, and then trying to find out how to continue to bring value to everybody who is in the group, so that they're thinking of me when stuff comes up too. Yeah, like today was my first day back. Mondays when we're recording this is my mentoring day, so I've just spent the day with my team. So we haven't done any real work yet in terms of projects or any of the stuff that I need to work on. Mark and I had a quick phone call, but like apart from that, it's been nonstop. Tomorrow I'm filming videos, and then Wednesday is like let's go. So Mark's gonna. Will we have our script ready that I can finish? I can record my video on Wednesday.
That would be good.
Yeah,
you should do that.
Yeah, that's what's next for now, and then continue. Maybe not that helpful or insightful, but
okay. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you.
I'm very happy for me too.
Good.
Very happy for me too. And I'm very happy for Nina, who also pushed through didn't want to come to any of the dinners or meet any of the people because she's even more introverted than I am.
Nina had like the best photo, like Instagram photo I've ever seen.
On the beach?
Yeah, that one on the beach where they were like hair all like flowy. I was like, this has got to be your profile pic. This is crazy good.
Every day she's sending me pictures on the beach, pina coladas, all this stuff. First off, like, I don't really care. I'd rather be here than on the beach for sure.
I have to say that I know that you did your first event was at the Ritz-Carlton in Puerto Rico. And I texted you. I was like, I recognize the resort because I directed a big event there, I think in 2014 or something, 2013, 2014. Anyway, Jacqueline came with me because I was going to spend 5 days directing this event. So from like 6 a.m. until 11 p.m. every day, I'd be gone. And so I was like, Jack, why? Like, we had this spontaneous idea to action back then even. I was like, you should come with me. So we got someone to watch the kids. I paid to fly her down. The client paid to fly me down, but there's an empty, very expensive hotel room sitting there all day, every day, because I literally would just come home, go to sleep, get up the next morning before daybreak, and then be gone. Anyway, I think 1 day in or 2 days in, I felt terrible. I was like, I'm not seeing you. We're not spending any time together. She was like, that's amazing. She did not want anything. And she was not texting me photos of herself. This was 2013 or 2014 or something. She literally disappeared for a bunch of days. Loved it. Loved spending time on the beach. Loved not having to deal with anybody. Just reading books. She drove into town. She went to the spa. And then when she saw that you guys were there, she was like, I wish I can go back and do that again.
We had 2 king-size beds in our room, so there was space. Yeah, I mean, so whenever I go to an event, I'm pretty all in. And this is something that Nina and I talk about, always to figure out, should she come with me or not? Because when I go, I'm all in. Morning, afternoon, evening, like all the way, doing my talk and meeting people and helping them in the lobby. Like that's what I do. So she wasn't supposed to come to the first one. Oh, she didn't come to the first one. But then when she came for the 3 or 4 days in between, then made a conscious choice to spend more time to do work light mode of just what had to get done, or squeeze in things when she was whatever, napping or working herself. Because going into the mastermind was again 3 days of we had dinner together. That's pretty much it. Like wake up, go there, and I come back at 10 o'clock and like didn't see anything. So the last day we had a good half day where we went to the beach and ran in the water, did the cold plunge. That was awesome. So we have to still figure that out for future ones. How much does she come with me, stay here? Do we book an extra day or two before or after to enjoy the city a bit? I don't know. There's a bunch of travel coming up for all the stuff that I'm doing. So we got to decide.
Depends on where you're going.
Depends on where I'm going. That's the answer. Nina's been secretly listening to this whole thing and now decides to say something.
That's okay. She likes to let Evan do Evan's thing.
She likes to inject at the right moments.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy for you.
Oh, but your audience likes it when I come. Wow. Nina's been developing quite the little piece of confidence over there.
He has to go.
But your audience likes it when I come in.
Yeah, everybody likes Nina.
I know. I like it. I like Nina building up her confidence. It's great. Okay. That was the Evan storytelling episode. Catch up from the tour. We'll see what we talk about next time.
Mm-hmm.
Final words of wisdom from Mark Drager.
What?
Well, you went on your story about how when you went to a dinner and all you got to do was listen, but you never got your chance to say anything. You did a great job listening for 53 minutes.
Mm.
And now you're going to end by sharing. We're going to end this episode with a Mark Drager moment of wisdom to blow your face off. Lean in. Pay attention, everybody. Turn up the volume. Greatness is coming. And go.
You have to do things that scare you. I don't know. You see, you built it up so much and I know you did that on purpose just to mess me up. My face is going all red now and everything. No.
I was actually trying to buy you time. That's all.
Oh, were you? But the biggest thing that it did was it just built the anxiety up in me. And I just went, oh my goodness. Like I'm just throughout the whole thing, watching on the sidelines, talking to you. The reason I'm so proud of you is because I'm vicariously living through you. And I'm impressed at you doing things that I think I would be afraid to do. And two, I love watching you grow. You know, there's two things that can happen when friends grow. You either start to get a little bit afraid that your friend is growing and they're going to outgrow you, or you know that there's an opportunity for you guys to grow together. So I think in the last week and a half, we've had both of those conversations, but mostly I'm just really excited. I'm just excited for you. I'm excited for you. I'm worried for me that this newer version of Evan, I was just starting to catch up to the old version of Evan, I feel at some level. And the new version of you, I don't know if I can even keep up with now. So
let's go, Mark.
Let's go.
Pull up the big pants and let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. So mostly the words of wisdom from my side are just, oh, I'm terrified, but let's do it anyway.
There you go. That's good. That should be an Instagram quote.
There you go. Anyway, that's this week's episode. I just wanted to spend the whole time just hearing your story because it sounded epic.
If you want to know why your comfort zone is destroying your life, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.